I'm Dr. Jovita, but you can call me the chess doctor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I have something different, and I'll not tell you. I'll tell you right when I'm back. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jovita, and you can call me your chess doctor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not part of me, then I don't know what you're doing, and you can start by just pressing the subscribe button. So just support me, So today I'm going to be giving you something that these are mainly problems upcoming chess players actually face. A lot of chess players, when you get to interact with them and you want to know what their problems are in the game of chess, you see so many things. So the first on my list is clueless chess. So you see someone that has been that is struggling to learn the game of chess, and you find that the person is playing chess by sentiment. What are the sentiments? I've not moved this rook before. Let me just move it now. This pawn looks like I can move it. Sometimes you just see them, they just move their hand and then they take the piece, their hand, any piece they touch, that's the piece they want to move. Clueless chess, that's not going to improve your chess basically. When you're playing chess, don't remove emotions, be realistic. Think about what's happening on board. Don't even cram the moves, Just play what you're seeing on board, not what is in your head or what you feel is correct. Okay, so that's the first problem they get, clueless chess. Second on my list is neglecting the opponent's threats. I get this very often. You see a chess player, the only thing that is in the chess player's head is what he wants to do, irrespective of what the opponent is thinking about. And I'm wondering, like, chess is between two persons, right? As much as I'm thinking of what I want to do, I should be able to think about what you want to do and try to counter what you are planning to do. It's a no-no if at this point you're playing chess and you're neglecting your opponent's threats. As much as you're making your own plans, think about your opponent too. That's the second problem on my list. The third one is overconfidence. I'm guilty. You just see someone that you feel like I've been playing for a long time, so I can beat anybody. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way on board. So overconfidence, you have to put yourself on that check. No, don't underestimate any chess player. Do not underestimate, irrespective of how many years experience, whatever you feel. Play the game of chess like you're playing the real game, like everybody is equal on the battleground, like it's equal. Don't have anything at the back of your mind when you're playing. So remove overconfidence. Upcoming chess players, this is a specific message for you. Next is insufficient persistence in defense. You're defending and defending and defending, and at a point you just say like, okay, let me stop defending, let me start attacking. All of a sudden you leave your pieces you're using to defend to start attacking. You're weakening yourself rather. Most times it's better to just, in fact, most of the time the best form of attack is defense. Most times just make sure everything in your house is under proportion, under check before you start going out to go and fight. Then next on my list is not studying end games. Yes, I've seen that very often. In fact, a lot of my students, this is the major challenge. They play good chess. You see that they can play good openings, good middle game. End games, they lose it. They're not able to hold the end game. They crack at some point. So most times I encourage, once you've gotten to that point where your opening and middle game is good, then move to end game, because try and do all the possible end game combinations. Because if you're able to hold your game to end game, one of the combinations you've studied will play out on the board. It's easier to predict the end game than to predict a middle game. End game is either as a rook and a king end game, pawns end game, or bishop and rook, or ninth end game. There's always something that you can predict when it comes to end game. Middle game is always very, very, very tricky because the possibilities in middle games are so much compared to end game. So usually I'll tell you, as an upcoming chess player, study end game combinations to help yourself. Then next is insufficient knowledge of openings. Well, I don't want to believe this is going to be so much of a challenge for my students, because when we start, I give you the principles of openings and then teach you some basic openings you can play both as white and black, whether it's d4, the response to respond with as white, as black rather, when you're played d4 or e4. So I usually will give you that. So and then with the basics of opening, the principles of opening. So I don't believe that any of my students will have challenges with challenges with openings, right? But whichever way, try to study the principles of opening. Don't just cram the moves, because they can always knock you off balance. Don't just cram the moves in openings. At least as a chess player, upcoming chess player, I will always advise you that. Wrong calculation. So this is also a big deal, because you can just look at the board and then you just feel like the best move, the only move you're seeing is the best move, or the first move you see is the best move. I'll tell my players, when you see the best move, look for a better move, or when you see a good move, look for a better move. Okay, looking at the board, most times the first move you're seeing, you shouldn't be in a hurry to play it. Make sure and try and see if there's any better one, or if there's anything on the board that can counter what is going on right there. Okay, and then before I call it a wrap, the last one is time wasting. So this is common with players that are not used to playing with a clock. And I'll always tell you, I understand that it's hard playing with a clock, but if you've learned from the onset, you know that you shouldn't spend so much time thinking, especially in the opening, and then middle game, I can give you permission for middle game. You shouldn't spend much time too in end game. If you've studied all the possible combinations in an end game, you know what you're looking for and what not to look for in the end game, right? So I think that's all I'm having this time on common challenges upcoming chess players face. If there's anyone I missed, please comment on the section. I want to learn. I want to see which one I missed. Until I come your way again, please subscribe, follow me, and keep loving chess the way I love chess. See you guys.